Hey, as we work through this government class, hitting the civil rights unit, I wanted to make sure that you guys understood that there are some groups of amendments. So that first 10 amendments is the Bill of Rights. You know about that. The next two were done shortly after the Constitution was ratified. And then it was like 60 years before we went to the Reconstruction era amendments. So after the Civil War, it became clear that we needed to give more rights to the African Americans here. So number 13 ended slavery. So I'm simplifying all of these amendments a lot, but basically what you need to know: 13 ended slavery, 14 gave citizenship to anybody born in the United States. Didn't matter what color you were, you got citizenship because you were born here. We also have talked a lot about due process, and there is a due process clause in that 14th Amendment that is super important, and you'll keep seeing that. Number 15 gave African Americans the right to vote. Okay? And even after they got the right to vote and citizenship and there was no slavery, it still wasn't fair. The Jim Crow laws and black codes, and so more laws needed to be passed. So 1964, these amendments are like late 1860s, but 1864, so 100 years later, they passed the Civil Rights Act, which helped to bring more rights, to enforce the rights that were already given. 1965 was the Voting Rights Act, and so that eliminated poll taxes and literacy tests to vote. Okay, so those are the three Reconstruction era amendments right after the Civil War. In the early 1900s, we had the Progressive era, and there are a bunch of amendments there. There are 4 of them. So number 16 was a progressive income tax. So progressive in this case means that poor people pay a smaller percentage of their income for taxes than rich people. So right now, I think it's about 35% for the highest tax brackets and down to, I think it's 11 for the lowest tax brackets. I'm not sure about that, but it's something like that. You pay a lot more taxes if you make a lot more money. Okay, number 17 is popular election of senators. Before this amendment, our state representatives chose our senators for us. But now we get to choose through elections. Number 18 was a ban on alcohol. It was kind of a rough time. There were a lot of alcoholics, and women especially banded together to put in a ban on alcohol. That was repealed with the 21st Amendment, which is not a progressive era amendment, but I think it's a really good thing to know that, like, hey, 18 banned the alcohol, 21 it was legal again. And hey, you can drink alcohol at 21 and you can vote at 18. That's interesting. 19, this is the last one that we're going to talk about today, is the women's right to vote. It is interesting that it was more than 100 years after black men were allowed to vote that women finally won the right to vote. Okay, that's all I had for you today. I will see you next time.